I write and direct a show called Super Strikers, about the world's best football team going on adventures around the globe. I've recently worked on some shorts for Nickelodeon called Moosebox as a head writer, and wrote Triggerfish's new feature film, SEAL Team. It started in 2001 as a comic, and it was very South African-based PSL. Yeah. There was a time before I was actually there, but where it kind of opened up into more of an international league. We like to think of them as still our local guys. At the moment, they're kind of Super Strikers are from wherever you are and you're watching them. Super Strikers as a comic, you know, we've done 200 issues. It kind of went as far as it could go within the local space. You know, it's been there in Nigeria as well, where Super Strikers wear green. There's always this thing where like everyone's unsure where Super Strikers are actually from, and they're from their hometown. So I think there was a conscious decision that we want to make a big international show that can relate to everyone, and model it less on a sort of realist rags to riches kind of story as it started, and more as like a weekly action adventure kids show, you know, crazy underwater training and like a kick-ass soccer game at the end. Most of my experience, if not all, has been in animation. So I can tell you sort of theoretically more than practically on the live action sense, but from what I know is that you have a lot more room to be slightly more directorial in script writing for animation. You know, in live action, it's always about being terse, about giving the core details of the story and the scene without dictating to the director or to the actors how they need to do that. However, animation, because it's much more abstract, sometimes, you know, if for instance, you know, like a guy has like a gun that fires ducks into space or whatever, you need to be quite specific about how that works, because someone, he takes out his duck gun and fires it, you know, needs a little bit more detail. So I found, especially on Super Strikers, because I'm lucky enough to direct it, it's a lot more detail within the script than you would get in a live action story. It is growing dramatically. Back when I was at Urbo, like, there were definitely more, and the Triggerfish guys are doing things, but I got the sense that like we were amongst the only people doing this just because of their lack of jobs. I mean, there are plenty of great writers in the country, which means there are plenty of great animation script writers, because the one is the other. From Storylab especially, like I saw a whole wealth of talent and people doing awesome stuff, and it seems to have exploded from then, like a bunch of people doing cool different productions with, you know, a lot of the international broadcasts and stuff that I hear. So growing dramatically, but you know, we could always have more. I mean, like, you know, a lot of it's the stock standard, just hassle people, make connections, and the cheesiest and most cliche but the truest of them all is just write. I mean, even for me, the idea of studying at varsity, what it did was it forced me to write again and again and again. I sometimes meet young writers who are scared about spamming people with their work because they're going to steal their ideas. If your ideas are good enough to be stolen, you have a career, so don't worry about it. You'll come up with another better one. Just write and send your stuff out there and get people to read it and give you feedback.